Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals at your service. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding. This is the only show in the metro area that focuses on business expansion, real estate construction. We also talk a lot about retail and restaurant news. Emphasis on restaurant news today. We're going to be a little restaurant-centric today, but we have other news to talk about as well. And now, without any further ado, it's time to introduce my co-host, a legendary real estate deal maker who's wearing his about 18-year-old vintage Grow Omaha shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Trenton Magid.
Absolutely. We need to get new shirts. We've had a lot of requests for merchandise, ladies and gentlemen.
Do we really?
Okay, no.
You always say that, and I'm like, where do you get these merchandise? But if we do come up with merchandise, we'll let everyone know.
Absolutely. And we'll take suggestions on what you want to see Grow Omaha logo on.
Yeah, and with every suggestion is a required 100-unit purchase commitment.
And about 15 years ago,
we can't talk about what happened, but we've stopped signing body parts.
And with that, we'll go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. And they know mortgages like nobody else. Been doing it for 30 plus years. Help you with all sorts of different types of home loans. And remember, folks, the nice thing about a mortgage broker is they are not beholden to one bank. They can shop the market. They focus on you, the borrower, the home buyer, the homeowner, and what your situation is and what your goals are. And then they find the best solution for you, customized, if you will. And it's the really smart way to go about financing a new house. So if you want to talk to them, stop by the office at 114th and Dodge or go to eaglemortgagecompany.com. Okay, Trenton, let's get into the news. And first of all, we have a good sign for Omaha growth and development and the economy. Passenger traffic at Eppley International Airport was up 0.4% from the same month in 2019. And that, my friend, is the first time we've had a single month higher than a pre-pandemic month since the pandemic.
We'll take it. I think that people not only are itching to travel the world, but they're traveling. And
oh, yeah.
I think it seems like more than ever. I'm surprised it's only that amount, but I think nationwide statistics are probably more. I hear more about people going to Europe, people going south.
Well, and that's up 0.4 from that month in July of 2019.
Right.
It's up quite a bit from July last year.
Absolutely, no question about it.
And last year was not a bad year. I mean, I think what did they do like in the high 4 millions for passengers, and this year they should go well north, way up in the fives. So that's a good sign, and we're going to keep that momentum going. And I'm with you, Trenton. I've noticed just in the times I've been in the airport this year, pretty heavy crowds in the terminals. Most of the seats on the airplanes are full. They're generally flying pretty large planes on Omaha routes these days.
Have we seen any renderings? I know we've seen the renderings for the overhang, the $90-something million overhang, which is covered the drop-off and pickup area between the parking garages and the terminal. But have we seen the rendering for the $600 million unit terminal?
We have, but only a very primitive preliminary design. The airport authority has not released any final designs. The only thing they've shown are kind of like a preliminary floor plan, if you will. Yeah. Like there hasn't, to my knowledge, in fact, it might not even be done yet. There hasn't been any exterior renderings of what the new terminal look like. There haven't been any renderings of what the inside concourse will look like. What we do know is that all of the gates will be in one long linear terminal as opposed to the two inefficient satellites like we have right now. We also know there will be a central security entrance for TSA. There won't be two of those, and it'll be way more efficient. We're told there will be a hell of a lot more food service and retail past the security gate. There's hardly any right now. The other thing that I've been hearing from a couple sources is there will be customs, so that if we land an international flight, we'll be able to handle that.
That's huge. So does that mean that the two sides, the current terminals, will be taken down eventually?
That has not been officially stated publicly to the best of my knowledge. I get the impression that one or more of them will be integrated into the longer terminal, but we shall see.
What do you think the over-under is whether we're going to get a moving walkway?
I'm thinking it's more likely than not. So we can say moving sidewalks.
Or not?
So continuing on with the news, Bankers Trust will hold a groundbreaking later this month for a 2-story office building and bank branch to be constructed on the southwest corner of 192nd and Davenport Street. Next up, crews have removed several single-family houses this week just south of Dodge for an $82 million 330-unit apartment building. This thing will be 5 stories. The single-family houses have been removed. They still need to get rid of a long abandoned old gas station right on the corner of 48th and Dodge, and then a couple of commercial buildings. They are going to save the building that for many years housed the Pittman Veterinary Clinic. That's a historically significant building. Cool 1940s architecture.
Yeah, congratulations to our friends at Access Commercial. They do a good job on those developments. And what's interesting is, if you get a chance, go to the Grow Omaha Facebook page, because it's a controversial project. And I want to know the people that are weighing in, and some people think that they should have either moved those single-family houses that have got to be 100 years old or whatever, or just left them there. But when you're along the orbit and you're along this transit-oriented corridor, it is about density. And I think the biggest concern that people have was the affordability of these market rate apartments.
Well, that's just life. I mean, the market is what it is. It costs construction. It costs a certain amount for construction. It costs a certain much to acquire land. Staffing costs a certain amount. And so, there's always this talk about affordability, and it is definitely a concern, but the market is what it is. And as far as that project being controversial, I know you're talking about some comments made on a Facebook page. I actually don't think it's all that controversial. I think what happened, if you go to our Facebook page, we have some very compelling photographs. Disclaimer, I took them. But there's some compelling photographs of those single family houses coming down. And I think it kind of triggered some emotions on people that saw it on Facebook. It's always kind of hard to see that. But yeah, this is a project that, as Trenton indicated, will be right on that orbit line. Good, dense infill. You're going to see a lot more of this, I believe, what with the Med Center expanding the way it is.
People got creative with your photographs as well.
I love those.
Fire-breathing dragon crane.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, there's this one picture where what do you call that thing? What do you
jaws,
have? It's like a huge claw-like jaws. It's like a monster's mouth. It's kind of like a backhoe thing, but it's way bigger than a backhoe, and it stretches up taller than a 1.5-story house. And I have this photograph of that big, huge tractor mouth about ready to crunch this roof. And so someone put Cookie Monster eyes in it, and
the other one put fire-breathing dragon with
it was pretty clever,
wings and all that kind of stuff. And so I get it. There's a bunch of comments on both sides of the issue, but what I'm very excited about is that people engage, and sometimes people go off the rails, but that's part of public discourse, I guess, and we get a lot of views.
Speaking of things that are going to get torn down, Mystery Manor Haunted Theater has permanently closed after 38 years in business. The actual address is 716 North 18th Street. Creighton University acquired it for $425,000. Presumably, Creighton has been expanding pretty rapidly in North Downtown, and presumably they have plans for that site as well.
I think if you really want to make it Mystery Manor and you want to keep it, if you really want a haunted house, just let the vagrants go in there. And if people want to go through there, there might be some liability on Creighton's part, but it would really be a challenge, and see how you come out. You might have to sign a waiver.
Perhaps. Construction has started on St. Patrick's Catholic Church of Elkhorn. This is going to be their new building, because some of you might be saying, wait, isn't there already a St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Elkhorn? Yes, there is. It is located at 204th and West Maple, and that's where the school will remain. But the parish is moving the worship and event space to a 12.22 acre site northwest of West Maple Road and Big Elk Parkway. That's right about 186th Street
It's a
ish.
huge site.
It sure is, and it looks big. The building will be just over 56,000 feet. They'll be able to seat 1,400 people in the sanctuary and accommodate 600 people, seated people in the parish hall event space.
It's a great location.
And we've had a lot of people in the last week write in, phone in. We can't possibly answer all of them because we don't have the staff for it. So sometimes we just announce the answers to questions on the show. But so many people say, what's going on at 186 in Maple? It's St. Patrick's Catholic Church of Elkhorn.
So I had some time, and I pulled a Jeff Beals, and I did a driving tour of Elkhorn and Maple, West Maple. And
Yeah, I was proud of you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you. And I was impressed. I don't know if I'm impressed, but it's really, on a large scale, it's probably a new food group when it comes to residential housing. There's this area off 204th north of Maple called the Trails, and it's single-family homes, a couple different colors of paint, multiple designs. There's one whole street that's built out that people are moving into or live in. The other one isn't finished yet, but it's every one of these homes are for rent. You can't buy them. So there's one entity that owns them. I don't know if it's D.R. Horton or who it is, but it was DH something, I thought, but we'll see. But there's a place where a leasing office. I haven't seen the amenities where they're going to have common areas and pools and stuff, but it's different. We haven't had large scale single family rental properties that basically act like apartments.
And, that could be a discussion item for an entire show sometime about the movement towards rental units and away from home ownership in the metro area and in the country. And frankly, some concerns that could be springing up around that, but something we'll definitely keep our eye on. And finally, we have a sign of progress. In the past, we talked about a 4-story apartment project at 30th and Leavenworth. Well, construction fencing has been installed on the southwest corner, 30th and Leavenworth, like I said. The project is called Square Apartments, 4-story building, 73 units. And that should be, given the fact that the fencing is in place, kicking off fairly soon. And that is your growth and development news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, we're going to bring on our good friend Stacy Winters. He is the founder of Omaha Food Lovers and also co-star of Diners, Dives, and Drive-Ins? Or did I screw up the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives? Okay. The Guy Fieri Show. He was on it last night. And so, he's a little excited, a little fat-headed, but we were able to fit him in the studio. We're going to talk about all things related to Omaha food and eating and Guy Fieri being in town and all sorts of fun stuff. You're going to love listening to Stacy. He's great. Stay with us. This is Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals sitting next to Trenton Magid. And we are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding. And we are excited because we get to talk about food, which is one of our favorite subjects. And we have a food expert, Stacy Winters, with us. He is the founder and operator of Omaha Food Lovers, the famous group on Facebook. Good morning, Stacy. Welcome back.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Trenton. I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I am a lover, hence the food lover. But it's,
okay. Do you know what it takes to become an expert?
You gotta get paid
I
for
do
it.
not.
10,000 hours. I think you've had
10,000
more
hours.
than 10,000 hours of eating in your life.
Then I would say yes.
Yeah.
I think they don't pay you to do this, and you, congratulations, you have well over 100,000 members on your Facebook page. Everybody got on there on their own, and it's incredible.
It's pretty amazing.
And you're not selling products. You're giving information, and everybody's contributing to this site that has taken many restaurants. There's no question in my mind, and I'm sure you guys agree with me, that Omaha food lovers, especially during the pandemic, have saved many a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that that's 100% true. I mean, I do know restaurants have said that they would not have survived without that, promotion or that publicity, or people being able to share their specials, things like that. So it definitely has helped, those businesses, several businesses. So I mean, it's great. I'm happy for all of those businesses. I'm, as we're gonna talk about the diners, drive-ins, and dives, I'm just happy that Omaha is now getting the recognition it deserves on a national level when it comes to the food scene, because it's incredible. And I'm glad if OFL helped to promote that in any form or fashion, I'm just grateful for that.
But thank you for that. And you and your fellow moderators run a great page, for lack of a better term, and I think people get a ton of information. I don't know. I think people need to know too that if you want to look up venues, if you're having a birthday party or you're having a big party, you can get on there, put in the size of the event and where you want to be, and what's that called?
There's a really good tool, Cam Bosick, who's she's just awesome. She's created some really good tools for that. I forget the name of her page. It's like Light Shining Through, I think is what it's called, or something like that. But she has a great. We have several pinned posts in our group that have, if you're looking for best happy hour, she's got a list of that. If you're looking for daily specials, she has a list for that. If you're looking for party rooms, she has a list for that based upon size, things like that, like you said. So there's all these great resources out there.
So let's talk about diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah.
The famous TV show Guy Fieri came to Omaha earlier this year and shot 5 different restaurants.
Yeah.
So interviewed you. Bring us up to speed with what's going on with all that.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I was fortunate enough to get invited by Brett at Izzy's Pizza Bus to participate in the filming of their episode, which aired last night. They had a viewing party at Trucks and Taps, 108th and Q, for anybody who hasn't been there. It was just a real surreal moment for me. I mean, diners, drive-ins, and dives is kind of what really, I would say started my love affair with, food and being more intentional about my choices when I travel, when I go out. So it was kind of a dream come true to, meet Guy and talk to him and be interviewed as part of that show. So it was really, really, really cool.
And Izzy's going to have a permanent location, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, okay.
Not that I'm aware of. Right now I really like what Izzy's is doing. I mean, they're very much all about work-life balance. And so I think that they, at this point, I don't know what their plans are, to be quite honest, but I know that they moved to Omaha from Las Vegas because they wanted to be closer to family and have Izzy, their daughter, grow up with her grandparents. And so I think that was, really what they came here for. And they're very much about that work-life balance.
What were the other restaurants that Guy covered?
So I'll talk about a couple. I don't feel comfortable necessarily talking about all of them since not all of them have been announced. But Izzy.
Oh, they weren't on last night.
No. So Izzy's obviously was on this week. Last week, Dirty Birds was on, which I've been to Dirty Birds when they were at the Switch, and then they moved to the old Flatiron building. And I was skeptical, and I went there actually after their episode last Sunday. I went there, and I was skeptical about how that would fit into that kind of a historical building, and it was actually really cool. I loved the vibe in there, very bright. What they've done now there, and having
big space,
a lot more cocktails and stuff like that, communal tables. But the chicken and pancakes, which was featured on the episode, they do a blackberry and brie pancake with sassafras syrup and honey butter. I was blown away by those pancakes. Those pancakes were up there with Saddle Creek Breakfast Club's peanut butter banana pancakes, in my opinion.
We went to Saddle Creek finally. It lived up to its reputation.
Yeah, it's so good. So those two have been featured already. I'll talk about one that I know because they've put it in their store. They have the sign up says Guy Fieri was here. Is WD Cravings. And so WD Cravings is up in that Cherry Hills, Irvington exit, up in that area.
Blair High Road,
Blair High Road. And they're doing scratch made pasta. They do fantastic chicken parm. They also have incredible desserts, breakfast sandwiches. They're kind of doing a little bit of everything. So I would say if I was you, I would get there now before their episode does air. I don't know when that's going to air. But it's one of those, they deserve the recognition and deserve to get, some increased business.
It's kind of like hitting the restaurant lottery when when Guy picks your restaurant. And,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, I think, as long as the people respond to it correctly and can handle that additional business, then I think it's definitely the lottery. I mean, obviously some have failed. The places that were featured from Omaha 15 years ago, 3 of them are no longer in business. So
And what were those places 15 years ago?
Joe Tess.
Yeah.
There was, California Taco's still around.
Yep.
Big Mama's, Amato's, which was incredible.
I missed that place a lot.
Their ricotta, blueberry ricotta pancakes, those were incredible. And then Brew Burgers was a burger place like off 108th and Q.
Yeah, I'm surprised that one was chosen. Nothing against it, but
it wasn't
there were
around that long.
so many better Omaha choices. But Amato's would have been a great choice, and I do miss that one a lot. That
it was
place was
108th
amazing.
and L, I think.
Yeah, 108th and L. You're right.
Yeah.
An old
Shoney's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember when Shoney's was there.
So those, So I'm hoping that these places stick around for a long, long time. There are 2 others that will be featured, but I don't think they've promoted it in their restaurants or anywhere.
What do they rhyme with?
One of them is probably the most obvious foodie destination in Omaha. I'll just say that. I think that it's probably the most popular.
It gets a lot of press on your website.
It's won the
Gotcha.
favorite restaurant in OFL for a couple of years now.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take our middle of the show break, and when we come back, more food talk with Stacy Winters, founder of Omaha Food Lovers, and we'll ask we always ask Stacy where he's been since our last interview. We like to kind of get an idea about what he's tried lately. So we'll do that. So stay with us through the news. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid at your service. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, the premier auto body repair shop in the metro area. And also by D&M Roofing and Siding, taking good care of both your residential and your commercial roofs. And as indicated by the name siding, the side of your building as well. It is time for our commercial real estate development spotlight of the week, which is brought to you by Noddle Companies. Noddle Companies is the premier real estate developer based in Omaha. They do work nationally, but here in Omaha, a lot of cool projects like Exarban Village, Steel Ridge in Papillion. They have the Village Point West Medical Campus, River's Edge in Council Bluffs. But today we're going to talk about the Builders District. That's in North Downtown, and Noddle Companies is putting together a multi-block urban district known as the Builders District there. Kiewitz World Headquarters kind of anchors it. And the news out of that district this week, the 4-story mass timber building that's been under construction at 1501 Mike Fahey Street officially topped off. Noddle Companies had a topping off ceremony. Trenton, what does it mean when a building has a topping off ceremony?
All the steel is done.
The last structural element. And in this case,
Wood.
Not steel. It is mass timber, but there is a little steel in the building as well. So congratulations to Noddle Companies for that building. It's looking great. Going to be a office building, I believe, for multiple tenants, and we'll keep you up to date on that. And that is your Noddle Companies Spotlight of the Week. You can find out more about that firm by going to noddlecompanies.com. Got Stacy Winters with us from Omaha Food Lovers. And Stacy, we always like to ask you, where are some places that you have tried, and what did you think of them since you visited our show last time?
So I've been to lots of great places this last quarter, to be quite honest. So I got a laundry list to go through, but I'll try to make it quick. I'm going to highlight some places in Fremont today, actually, to start with. So Simo, which is a Simo Pasta, is a awesome little Italian restaurant that Drew Statz, formerly of Dante, opened up.
Oh, nice.
It's awesome. Guy Fieri, actually, when he was here, he visited this restaurant right before they had their actual opening. He went there before they were open to the public. So that was pretty cool to get that highlight from them. Great food, great pasta, great wine. If you like Dante, you'll love Simo. Los Mezcales Ortiz, which is this great little Mexican restaurant in downtown Fremont. Downtown Fremont's doing great things. But they always push the edge a bit on some of they're doing like a birria grilled cheese. They do like chilaquiles. They do great cocktails, watermelon, palomas, lots of great little cocktails. The best thing I ate this quarter, quarter, because it's 3 months I come on, was the steak wedge salad at the Woodcliff restaurant on Woodcliff Lake up there. That was really, really, really good. I was blown away about how, it's a wedge salad. I love wedge, but this
Did
was
you
really
order
good.
it to your liking?
The
Rare.
I'm a medium rare plus. That's my order. It was perfect. It was really, really done really well, and the prices are crazy reasonable. So
I still want to know who came up with the wedge salad. It seems like kind of a cop out. Let's just cut the head of lettuce. Boom, boom, boom. Okay,
I'm good with it. Whatever they wanted to do. Give me a steak knife and I'll cut that bad boy up. So those are some great places up in Fremont. There's a few. There's a barbecue place down in Bellevue called Mission Ave Barbecue. Scott Fogel, I think is his name, that opened that up. He's from Texas. He's learned at some of the some of the best barbecue restaurants down in Texas. So he's serving like I guess you call it a craft style Texas barbecue. Really good brisket, ribs, everything. Turkey was phenomenal. Was doing street corn. A lot of great stuff there. So I really, really liked a small restaurant. But and one of those, like, again, sometimes they'll sell out, so you might want to get there, early, but it was really good. That's in Old Town Bellevue. I think I might have talked about Corner Kitchen, before. So Corner Kitchen is around that 50th and G, Spring Valley kind of area where the old bakers, I think, used to be. And it is really, really good. So I went there for a Taco Tuesday recently, and Oscar Hernandez is a chef there. So he's very well known around Omaha. He's worked at, I think, 712, 402. I think he might have been at like the Market House back in the day before they, the fire closed that place now. But he's got some culinary chops, if you will, and his food is phenomenal. So I went there for a Taco Tuesday and tried, I think, 7 tacos, different style of tacos.
The Mexican market for Mexican restaurants is in fuego.
Yeah. There's definitely it's that.
Thank you.
So that was one. I really, really enjoyed their food. And they're doing a little bit of everything. So he takes a lot of Mexican fusion. So he's taking like Korean and fusing it with Mexican. It's super. He does like a Korean pork taco. Lots of good stuff there. So that's one I would definitely put on my list. And he recently got his liquor license. So I know for a long time they didn't have that. I still need to check them out for brunch because he's doing like horchata French toast and stuff like that. And there's another little place, another Mexican place in Millard now called Taco Loco. That is, a lot of people will be like, oh, you can't get authentic Mexican in West Omaha. And I'm like, you can, if you got to search for it, but you can find it. Taco Loco is doing some really, really good food. It's the only place I found outside of South Omaha that does huaraches. So huarache is like, I would say, kind of like a football shaped corn masa cake that's grilled and then topped with like refried beans and crema and what your meat of your choice. You need one that's filling, and it will fill you up. But super, super good food.
So how long has Omaha Food Lovers 100,000 plus members, and you've been on the air for what, 3 or 4 years?
4 years.
Okay.
4 years has been in existence.
Do you think we have a lot more restaurants or about the same? Because restaurants come and go.
I couldn't tell you. I would say it's probably about the same. I think it's like, you add one, you take away one. It's probably a, addition and subtraction type thing.
So any others on the list?
The one that I think people would probably like, it's been around for a while, but Junior's Forgot Store. If people ever remember the Anchor Inn, Anchor Inn was well known for the infamous watermelon, and Junior's is the place that has the original recipe because Junior was also the person who ran the Anchor Inn. So we went up there for a Sunday, and Sundays is their special is their roasted chicken with their roasted wedges. Oh, so good.
So is alcohol infused watermelon, or what is it?
So watermelon is you've never had a watermelon, Trenton? What's up with that?
I've had watermelon.
So actually, what's funny about a watermelon is there's absolutely no watermelon in it. So it's I know what I think is in it, but it's just a cocktail that became famous around here, and they're very potent, but they taste kind of fruity and just a good summer drink. And if you get a chance, you can buy them up there by the half gallon or gallon.
What do you think is in it?
Well, I know it's got some strawberry liqueur in it. That gives it the color. Sweet and sour. There's a few other things I think that are in there, but again, everybody wants to guess on the recipe, and I'm just going to leave it to Junior and let them have the original and let them go for it. I'm not going to try to replicate it and just go up there and buy them myself there.
All right, we got to take our final break of the hour, but we're going to have Stacy stay with us for the Turner Construction Lightning Round because we'll keep talking a little bit of restaurant stuff as we go through that. A lot of stuff on the list, so you want to stay with us so you can hear what's going on. This is going to be your cocktail party discussion fodder coming up next. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid at your service, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing. And it's time for the Turner Construction Lightning Round, the thing you've all been waiting for. Turner Construction is building Omaha. I was going to say one building at a time, but they're working on several buildings right now. And big buildings like the $389 million project at Offutt Air Force Base that is making America safer, to building out storefronts and office interiors and everything in between. So if your company is looking at the possibility of a construction project, go with Turner because they've got the deep resources, the deep bench that a big international company has, but they have Omaha-based people who've been living and working in Omaha for many years, working for them here, people who love the Omaha community. Turner is very active in the Omaha community. So with them, you get the best of both worlds. Turner Construction. What's that?
And they're hiring.
Are they? I
Yeah,
suspect they are.
Anybody that's skilled labor. If you drive around, we need more workers.
We need more construction workers. And if you are a construction worker, go to Turner. All right, let's get into it. Stacy Winters is with us from Omaha Food Lovers. And first up, Grow Omaha had the opportunity over the last couple of days to visit Ancho and Agave. This is the new 11,000 square foot contemporary Mexican restaurant that is going into the former Pier 1 space, Village Point. It officially opens to the public on Monday. My initial thoughts, guys, huge.
Yep.
Beautiful decor. There's a 3 Seasons room that is like nothing else we have in Omaha. Nice, friendly service. Food was good, solid. I liked everything I had. The cocktails really stood out, was my impression.
We both talked to, you and I went different nights. You went Thursday, I went Friday, and Victor, the managing partner, stopped by our table. I think you said you talked to him as well. And
I did.
He has a lot of experience, and he's been around Omaha for 20 years. And this is the third Ancho and Agave. One is in Illinois, one is in Wisconsin, but this one is bigger. And 11,000 is a huge restaurant, ladies and gentlemen. But I liked how light it was. I liked the ambiance. And
I'll definitely be going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will. And this is right across from Johnny's Italian Steakhouse and Kona.
You know what it struck me as? A fun place to go for drinks and appetizers after work, or a fun place to, or regular lunch or dinner, but fun place for drinks or appetizers after work, or a fun place for drinks and appetizers later in the evening.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I would probably use it for a lot.
You know what their hours are going to be?
I don't.
I was wondering how late night they're going to be.
Yeah, Village Point's not known for being places being open super late.
Stacy will put it on the Omaha Food Lovers page.
There's actually already been a couple of great reviews in the group.
I read one.
So yeah, it was. I mean, like you said, from the pictures, the build out is incredible. It looks beautiful. So, and I've seen, they have I saw the menu, and I was very excited about the taco platter. So I can order 14 tacos.
$50.
Go for it.
And try all of their tacos.
Plus, there's at least a handful of guacamoles.
Hey, a couple of quick restaurant updates real fast. Chipotle Mexican Grill under construction, 183rd and Maple. Jimmy John's plans to open in a small retail strip under construction near 203rd and Laramie, north of Maple. We have Club Pilates, not a restaurant, but a retailer, opening a 4th location at Papillion, 84th and Highway 370. Rally House, which is a sports apparel retailer, opening a 9,000 square foot store next to Five Below and L Street Marketplace, 123rd and K Street. Kinetics Massage and Body Works held a ribbon cutting for a location in downtown Council Bluffs. Absolute Sports Nutrition opening a 1,000 square foot store at 23rd and Cornhusker Road in Bellevue. Stacy, Taqueria Tijuana is an authentic Mexican place. They're located at 24th and Q. They're going to actually expand. That was nice to see.
I saw that they were looking for suggestions. So does that mean they've actually figured that out already? It said they were going to announce that soon, but I don't know.
So I was wondering, I saw that same thing on their Facebook.
So interesting fact though, Taqueria Tijuana, and if you've heard of El Alambre, they have a location in Millard and in Elkhorn now.
Yeah.
The same family recipes. It's the same recipes. So if you like one, you'll like the other.
Yeah, the El Alambre, I've been to that one in West Omaha, the Millard one a few times. It's fairly close to where I am. Trenton, Grant and Emmy's sadly didn't last long. It was a hot dog and kind of like burger dogs and ice cream.
Yeah, I kind of missed the mark there.
192nd and Q, it closed. It was affiliated with the Julio's right next door that had also closed.
That reboot of Julio's did not last long at those two locations. That's unfortunate.
It did not.
You got a crowded Mexican restaurant space.
Yeah. Like you were talking earlier. It's a.
I'd be curious to see what reopens there because it sounds like they had another concept ready to go for that 192nd and Q area.
That's what Julio's Facebook post I believe indicated that. But yeah, you're right. I'm curious about what that's going to be. We'll report it as soon as we find out. And then we have Buffet 402, a brand new Chinese buffet. Plans to open soon in Settlers Creek, a strip center on the northeast corner of 72nd and Cornhusker Road in Papillion, presumably a local Chinese buffet. Moxie by Marriott Hotel has pushed back its opening to October 6th at 12th and Harney.
They've waited this long.
It seems like we were reported on them pushing back openings for a long time.
I wonder if the National Building across the street will get inhabited before this thing gets done.
Before they actually open this thing. Omaha Performing Arts, $108 million addition is going to be called the Tanaska Center for Arts Engagement. Thanks to Tanaska for stepping up and supporting the arts in the Omaha area. So the music is playing, which means it's time for us to wrap it up. Stacy Winters, appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
100,000 members on Omaha Food Lovers, founded by Stacy Winters. If you're not a part of that, go on there, be a part of the fun, guaranteed to make you hungry. That's it for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, D&M Roofing and Siding, and Turner Construction on News Radio 1110 KFAB. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.